Kofi Kingston is in the Elimination Chamber match for this weekend's WWE Championship. Are we getting Kofi Mania again? We're going to talk about it in just a second. Stay tuned. This is your Raw review. What's up, Maniacs? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. And today we are talking about Monday Night Raw. Like I said in the intro, Kofi Kingston, he's in the Elimination Chamber match. We're going to get into in just a second of how he got inserted into this match. And there are some really stupid things that took place on this show, on an overall poor Raw show. But we're going to get into it in just a second. So stay tuned. And right here on WrestleManiacUK, I discuss everything that is WWE and AEW. So if this sounds like the place for you, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell as well, so you get notified each and every time I drop a new video. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into the review. The show opened up with a segment of Miz TV. And his guest was the Scottish psychopath or the Scottish warrior, Drew McIntyre, the WWE champion. And he was being called Andy by Miz, which I don't know where all of a sudden that came from. But yeah, that is his name, Andrew. But yeah, that's what he was calling him. And this whole segment was basically Miz tormenting Drew McIntyre, but getting him to say, you know, aren't you scared that, you know, your chances are very slim in the Elimination Chamber? Your one ally in Sheamus has turned on you as well, and that, you know, it's dangerous for you. He wouldn't let Drew McIntyre get a word in at all within this interview. Drew McIntyre took to the mic and said, look, if you don't let me say what I need to say, like, it's not going to be good for you. I promise that. Something along those lines. Miz then proceeded to interrupt Drew McIntyre, and we saw Drew McIntyre attack the Miz. It's just so, you knew it was going there, innit? Anafi, morning, my bro. Anafi said in the chat, how many times is he going to throw the money in the briefcase like an Olympic throw? Yeah, as he attacked Miz, he picked up the briefcase, threw it near to the what do you call it, the entrance way. So yeah, it was what you thought it would be. Drew McIntyre left the Miz. This wasn't the end of the segment. Miz took to the mic here, and Miz done he done the kind of promo he does when Miz is interesting. I'll tell you what's wrong with it in a second. So Miz done the promo saying, look, you know, I'm the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. Truth be told, I don't really need to be in the Elimination Chamber. And he took himself out of the Elimination Chamber. He declared he's no longer in the Elimination Chamber. And it was good. The way he delivered it, I'm not doing it justice. I'm obviously just touching the points. But the way he delivered it was really good. But it's hard to believe because, you know, next week you're going to see Miz and Morrison being idiots on TV, you know, or making diss tracks for Bad Bunny or whatever they do. You see what I mean? So when he comes across as serious, you can't buy it unless he's in a serious run. You see what I mean? But right now, he can't come across as serious to me. So anyway, that was the opening segment. Wasn't great, like mainly anything else that proceeded on this show. But it got us to the point of us knowing that Miz does not want to be in the Elimination Chamber match anymore. So we're going to see a bit more on that later on in the night. The first action on the night we got was a 6-man tag match between Riddle and Lucha House Party. They teamed up against the Hurt Businesses, tag team champions Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP. Obviously, we know Riddle is going to be in a triple threat match for the US Championship on Sunday in Elimination Chamber. And I guess this was a bit of a warm-up match, if you like. This was decent, pretty decent action by, obviously, the guys involved, the Lucha House Party especially. You know they can put on a good match. For long parts in this match, Hurt Business isolated Grand Metalik in their corner, didn't let him make a tag. Eventually, he got out, he made the tag, and Riddle went on a bit of a run. Riddle looking very good in recent weeks. We saw him deliver a floating bro to MVP to get the win. As he kind of left the ring in celebration with the Lucha House Party, You know who was not far behind? Bobby Lashley. He came down the ramp, locked Riddle. He attacked the Lucha House Party guys first, locked Riddle in the Hurt Lock. Literally just, and you know, as he does it, he's just screaming and going mad like it's one of them ones, and released Riddle. He was joined by the rest of the Hurt Business guys side by side. And yeah, he gets the one up on Riddle again. For me, I mean, I will probably do a prediction show for Elimination Chamber, but for me, I think that Bobby Lashley is dropping this title, man. I think he's dropping the title, which I don't mind if he's going to move up onto something greater, you know. But yeah, I think he's going to drop this title, probably to Riddle as well. He's got the best of Riddle in the last few weeks. Yeah, I think that it's a foregone conclusion, but we'll see. We will see. Obviously, Keith Lee's in this match as well, so it'll be interesting to see where they go from here. But yeah, Hurt Business end the segment standing tall again. Decent segment, nothing special at all. These are all like, you know, 2.5 out of 5 segments this whole show. Hate to be down on it, but you know, it is what it is. Right, we're gonna talk about some action that happened backstage. Firstly, we saw a bit of flirting going on with Bad Bunny and Mandy Rose. I don't think it was necessarily intended that way, but it definitely came across that way. And then Bad Bunny bucked up with his mate Damian Priest in the back. They were having a bit of a conversation before they got interrupted by R-Truth and the 24/7 championship picture. Akira Tozawa pinned R-Truth to become the 24/7 champion. As he was celebrating, he backed up into Damian Priest, who rather violently threw his head against one of the road cases, knocked him out. He told Bad Bunny, you know, what are you waiting for? Pin him, sort of thing. I'm very happy Bad Bunny pinned him and not Damian Priest, because that would have been, you know, en route to something that's not very good. Bad Bunny pinned R-Truth, and Bad Bunny is currently, and I have to say currently because, you know, this title changes hands every 2 seconds, he is the 24/7 champion, which I think is a decent position for him. You know, he can take him more seriously as you can take this belt within this division as champion. Obviously, he's got Damian Priest that can watch his back as well. So yeah, this could actually be quite interesting. But yeah, Bad Bunny, the new 24/7 champion. As well, I think there was a segment that happened backstage. Was it? Yes, it was. This is the Adam Pearce segment. So Adam Pearce had now been, you know, told by Miz that he doesn't want to be in it, and John Morrison should be inserted into the match instead. Adam Pearce was joined by Kofi as well backstage. Kofi Kingston said, "Look, that I should be in this match. I'm a former WWE champion. I've been a recent WWE champion more than any of these other guys." Miz got into the conversation and said Morrison is a former champion. I think Xavier Woods and Kofi were like, no, he wasn't. Miz said he was a former ECW World Heavyweight Champion. The look that Xavier Woods gave the camera was so good. Adam Pearce derived that look. Miz versus Kofi Kingston tonight. If Kofi, you win, you're in the Elimination Chamber match. Miz, if you win, John Morrison is in the Elimination Chamber match. So Kofi having to fight his way into these matches, which Kofi should have been in the match in the first place, in my opinion. This should have been the match in the first place, not the Miz. The fact he has to fight his way in, I'm not too, you know, they should fight their way in, but because everyone else didn't, it's like, why does Kofi have to fight his way in? You see what I mean? It's a bit meh, but maybe I'm being sensitive, maybe I'm over analyzing it, but it is what it is. But anyway, that was going to be scheduled for later on in the night. Next up, we had one of the poorest segments I've seen in a very long time. And on paper, it probably shouldn't have been that. It was Charlotte Flair and Asuka versus Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce. Lacey Evans obviously still carrying on with the whole Ric Flair stuff, and, you know, teasing Charlotte on her way down to the ring, also teasing Asuka, saying that, you know, Asuka, that you might have a gift for me come Sunday, obviously being the Raw Women's Championship. Good to see Peyton Royce. She looked miserable as she came out. She looked absolutely miserable, upset, and maybe not wanting to be involved in such angle. Who knows? But at least she's on TV. This match started with obviously Lacey Evans not wanting to be tagged in at all. So Peyton Royce was pretty much in a handicap match between Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Nothing special in terms of, you know, the story in this match. The match was a bit redundant in that section. It was just a matter of time before we were trying to get Lacey into the ring. Charlotte was gagging for Lacey to get into the ring at one point. Eventually, and Lacey wasn't even trying to get tagged in at all. Eventually, Peyton Royce made her way to the corner, right, and tagged in Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans came off the apron and like was trying to go back up the entranceway. She was like, no, Charlotte, I'm not getting in the ring with you. Charlotte was like, come on, let's go. She was like, yeah, I'm not getting in the ring with you because Charlotte, I'm pregnant. Pregnant. Like, there's so much to unpack here. How it's pregnant, like, and literally after that, Ric Flair started celebrating, woo, dancing, and everything all over the place, right? And I'm sure he said something like, "You can call me daddy," which is disturbing. But like, Lacey Evans' music started playing, and that was it. The match was done. The match was scrapped right there on the spot. I mean, maybe the referee counted to 10 in the background. I don't think he did. I didn't hear him, but it's like pregnant. Now, like, rumors have it that Lacey Evans is actually pregnant in real life. So if rumors have it that she's pregnant in real life and she is pregnant, congratulations to Lacey Evans. How this has managed to get into a storyline, I don't know. How this is ending a matchup, I don't know. What does this mean for Asuka versus Lacey Evans on Sunday in the Elimination Chamber? In Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Like, all these unanswered questions. What is this storyline? What? I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how we got here, how people are pregnant all of a sudden. Didn't she have a match or wrestle last week? Like, she's clearly, maybe she's not pregnant. I don't even know what to think anymore. But this was so poor. Even the delivery of it. And I know, like, obviously this stuff is scripted, but Charlotte's reaction is just like, what am I involved in? What is this? Like, I think, you know, her reaction here just kind of outlines probably what everyone else was thinking. Like, this is absolute trash. Like I say, I doubt she is pregnant. If she is, and some people have said that she is, then congratulations. But this is a mess. This whole storyline is just a complete mess. The Raw Women's Championship is just void at this moment. It's scrap. It's just nonsense. Like, it's poor Asuka. Just poor everybody involved in this, because this is terrible. This is terrible in my opinion. But yeah, I don't like to go on the negatives too much. I'm sure, you know, throughout the whole week we're all going to be speaking about this, so I'll save some fire for later. But yeah, we move on with the show. And just before we do move on, guys, if you are watching, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, please make sure you smash the like button, give us a thumbs up. Thoroughly appreciated right here at WrestleManiacUK, and it does loads for the channel. So I appreciate it if you give the video a thumbs up. Thank you very much. And we'll move on to the next match on the night. Kofi Kingston versus The Miz. Like we said earlier, this was to determine who was going in the Elimination Chamber. If Kofi wins, he was. If Miz wins, John Morrison will enter. And this is a pretty okay match. Like, you know, I was watching this match, I'm thinking, God, how many times maybe since 2010, those times, do you think we've had this kind of matchup? Kofi Kingston versus The Miz. And am I right in saying that even at one point these two were tag champions together? I can't remember. But yeah, this was just a pretty standard textbook WWE match. We saw a lot of struggle towards the finish, which was a bit interesting. Attempted drop kicks, boom drops, SOSs, trouble in paradise, the lot. Kofi Kingston was fighting with a knee injury. But yeah, in the end, he countered the skull crushing finale and rolled up Miz and then I think he gave him a Trouble in Paradise actually for the win. So pretty decent match. Kofi Kingston enters the Elimination Chamber on Sunday. Are we going to get Kofi Mania again? I doubt it. Kofi Mania wasn't meant to happen the first time, if we all remember. So I doubt this is going to happen again, but this is a pretty good storyline. I think from here, what should happen is Mustafa Ali costs Kofi Kingston. Mustafa Ali costs Kofi Kingston maybe his place in the Elimination Chamber, or maybe as someone exits the Elimination Chamber, Mustafa Ali runs in, does some damage to Kofi Kingston, so Kofi Kingston's pinned straight away and eliminated. That feud has to continue. That's the A story for both of these guys right now. It isn't thrusting Kofi back into the WWE picture. So yeah, I think Mustafa Ali or Retribution somehow within the chamber match has to cost Kofi his position, get him eliminated so we can move forward. We have to have Mustafa Ali versus Kofi at WrestleMania. Like it's a must. So yeah, we need to forward that story, and I think this is a good little way of doing it. So yeah, standard match. Nothing special here. We had Randy Orton backstage cutting a little promo talking about how he's willing to do anything to make sure he enters last into the Elimination Chamber and win the WWE Championship because he's wiped his hands off of the Fiend now. He reminded us how he burnt the Fiend alive. He'll do anything that he needs to do to win. So interesting words by Randy Orton. We haven't seen Fiend since, I think top of the year, early January. So I do hope whatever rendition he comes back in, like it's gonna be proper. I'm proper looking forward to that. So yeah. Next up on the show, we had Lana versus Shayna Baszler. This match was obviously to forward the feud that the tag team champion Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax are having with Lana and Naomi. I don't know if it did that just because Shayna Baszler is Shayna Baszler versing Lana, who is very much in the mode right now, even in her backstage interviews of I'm just happy to be here. I'm just going to try every week and be happy to be here. And it's just like, come on, bruv. You're a WWE superstar. Like you have to show a bit more oomph, a bit more desire. Like even lie, like I can beat Shayna Baszler. Like be gassed. You see what I mean? Like it's just a bit, yeah, I'm just happy to be here and all of this kind of stuff. And I don't want Naomi to become a byproduct or play this coach figure to Lana. It's very unproductive for Naomi. Naomi still has a lot to offer. And really and truly, I think the tag team championships need to move on to NXT now. I think the women there can do such a good job with it. The likes of Shayna Baszler, the likes of Nia Jax, the likes of Naomi should all be competing for the Raw Women's Championship. None of them should be fighting for this poorly booked on the main roster anyway women's tag championships. It hasn't been booked well for a long time, since last year. So yeah, I think all of them need to become single stars again. Hopefully that happens sooner rather than later. And yeah, we saw Nia Jax lay an attack on Naomi outside. Naomi got the best of her for a bit, but Shayna Baszler then attacked Naomi. We saw Lana try put away Shayna Baszler off the back of that with a quick roll up. Didn't work. Lana was eventually put into the Kirifuda clutch and tapped out. So Shayna Baszler gets the win over Lana here. Last but not least, we had the main event, which was a gauntlet match for all the competitors in the Elimination Chamber. The winner of the gauntlet match would enter last into the Elimination Chamber. So high stakes. And I must say, since about 2000 and I think it was 18, when they started bringing back the gauntlet match or the gauntlet style matches, this is like the one thing Raw can do right, or they know it's the one captivating thing during an entire episode. And again, I enjoyed this for a large part. I thought it was booked correctly. We had AJ Styles start the match with Kofi Kingston, who had just won his place into the Elimination Chamber. Almost was at ringside, almost laid an attack early on Xavier Woods. So almost was thrown out from the ringside area. And we had a really good match between AJ Styles and Kofi Kingston. I'm just reading, sorry, Anafi's comment. He says, I love gauntlet matches, always works well. 100%. And I think they should even lean into the fact of Raw is 3 hours, you know, not that we should have a gauntlet match every week, but, you know, this was the best part of an hour, this gauntlet match. So, yeah, like use this more rather than giving us rubbish segments. Like use kind of different match types like this. Raw is so long that it could be a mini pay-per-view every week, but you know, all we are fans, guys. We're not creative. So anyway, yeah, AJ Styles and Kofi Kingston, very interesting bout. Kofi Kingston obviously carrying the knee injury from his match with Miz earlier in the night. He was eliminated by AJ Styles after a phenomenal forearm, and we saw Drew McIntyre came out next, and AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre was really good as well. I really enjoyed those two going at it and really just showing the caliber. AJ Styles is honestly like he's just a different caliber of performer, man. Like it's crazy when you watch him in such a nothing kind of match like this as well, just how good he is. In the end, he got hit with a Claymore kick and he was eliminated by the WWE Championship, Drew McIntyre. Next came out Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy as well tried to put up a decent fight. I didn't really see Jeff Hardy beating Drew McIntyre at all. You saw him go up for a swanton bomb. Drew put the knees up, and then as Jeff Hardy got back to his feet, Drew McIntyre hit him with a massive Claymore kick and eliminated Jeff Hardy from the proceedings. Next out was Randy Orton. Randy Orton came out and him and Drew had a bit of a back and forth little scrap before Randy Orton rolled out the ring. You saw the breakdown of the lights and all of that kind of stuff. And you saw Alexa Bliss's picture come up within the Thunderdome like multiple times, everywhere, all over the place, laughing at Randy Orton or just laughing in general. Randy Orton was looking around, maybe waiting for the Fiend to attack. I don't know how many people saw this, but on the side of the ring that Randy Orton was on, part of the apron was pulled back, you know, as if, you know, you're going to get something from under the apron, under the ring. So part of the apron was pulled back. I was actually thinking, what, is the Fiend going to come out from under the ring or something like that? But no, nothing like that happened. Randy Orton, too busy, too concerned with Alexa Bliss's presence in the Thunderdome. He was counted out, and that was him done. He tried to get back into the ring. Drew McIntyre claymored him out, and he was counted out. And then last but not least was Sheamus. And as his music played, his Titron played everything, he actually sneak attacked Drew McIntyre, beat up Drew McIntyre before the match had officially begun. When it did start, it was kind of back and forth, 50-50 between these two guys. Eventually, we saw a bro kick to the WWE champion, and Sheamus pinned him, and Sheamus wins the match. So as he done a promo earlier on in the night that he would enter last, he stuck to his word. Sheamus is entering last into the Elimination Chamber, giving him, I guess, the best hopes of winning the chamber match. Sheamus was potentially my pick to win the chamber match, to be honest, but I'm not so sure anymore because obviously he got the win here on the night, as well as Randy Orton could be another possible pick if they still have hopes of doing Randy Orton and Edge for the WWE Championship. We know that was a plan last year, so those are two possible contenders, or I think Drew McIntyre retains. I don't think anyone else wins this, but I am going to probably do a prediction show at some point over the next few days, so definitely look out for that. Yeah. One other thing I wanted to mention is I'm not sure how great it is giving us. I understand the gauntlet match and the stipulation behind the gauntlet match, but then we're going to see all 6 of these guys in the match on Sunday. They've basically just given away the match. Do you see what I mean? Like, I don't know. Raw wasn't particularly good, man. There wasn't even like a decent high level match. You know, the past couple of weeks, Raw has been Raw, but we had like a Matt Riddle versus Keith Lee, which bumped up, you know, Raw, if you see what I mean. There was nothing to bump it up really on this card. The gauntlet match was really good, you know, but it came like too late in the show that it couldn't really save it, sort of thing. So yeah, guys, that was the Raw review. I hope you enjoyed it. I was gonna say I hope you enjoyed Raw, but I didn't enjoy Raw, so I don't expect you to enjoy it. Is Lacey Evans pregnant? I don't know. Someone hit me if you find out. Drop it in the comments if you find out if she's really pregnant, and what is going to happen if she is pregnant with the Raw Women's Championship match at Elimination Chamber on Sunday. This is a mess. This whole thing is a mess. Guys, hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and hit the notification bell so you get notified each and every time I drop a new video. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you